As you can see from the camera angle, you know we're doing some photography today. Hello, my name is Stuart Wood and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video I'm going to take an opportunity to photograph my baby regal jumping spiders. Now I'm rehousing them at the moment into these glass enclosures. There's a video coming up on how to create these if you're interested in that, so keep an eye out for that video. But since I'm already going to be getting the spiders out and rehousing them, I thought it might be an opportunity to photograph one of them. And I've had a picture in my head. Have you ever seen the picture online of the little field mouse that climbs up, is it a stalk of corn I believe it is? I'm going to try and do the similar thing but with a spider. So we have these, this grass. These are the grass flowers out of my garden. And we're going to place that into our holder, put our jumper spider on and we are going to photograph. The main difference here, however, is I have a fixed idea of the image already in my head, which means we're not going to be following the spider around, we're going to be photographing it from one angle. Now typically you would use a tripod for that. I don't have an extra tripod because the ATD is using it at the moment, so I'm going to be free holding it. So bear in mind if you are following along with this video that if you have got a tripod, please use your tripod. The first thing I want to set up, which is opposite to other video you've seen, is I'm going to do the background itself first. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use one of my kids' school jumpers. So I'm going to set that up on the background, and that'll give me an idea of my field of view that I have to play with. Now since we're not going to be chasing the spider around, we're going to wait for the spider to come to us, we're not going to use the Lazy Susan this time. So put that away. And what I want is I want the grass to be all in focus. I want the whole spider to be in focus as much as possible. So in order to get a nice out of focus background, we're going to keep the distance from the subject to the background as long as possible. So now we've done the background, we need to select a piece of grass that we want to use. Now I like that one because it's bendy. These ones are straight, this one is bent. So I'm going to use that one. Let's shorten it and place it into our holder. There we go. I'm just going to clean it up because there's a few hairs on it. Nice soft brush is very useful for just cleaning stuff up. Okay, now that's done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my camera and I'm going to frame this up so that we get most of that seed head inside of our frame. That's the first thing I'm going to try. We might change it up when we get the spider on there because the spider might be a little bit too small, but we'll see what happens. So one of the things I need to do is decide what magnification to use. Okay, so typically when we're photographing Doris, we're using a 31mm extension. We want all of this in if possible, so I'm thinking 13 should do the job. I don't know, I haven't tried this yet. That's just something we're going to try as we go along. So, hat turns around, let's just see how close this gets us. So I've set my iPad up so I can transmit my files wirelessly to the iPad. So we have a 13mm extension on my Nifty 50. So I'm going to frame this up. So all I'm looking at is the framing. So if we take a look at that now, you'll see how the frame, you've got the stalk of the grass coming up from the bottom left hand corner up to the top right hand corner. It's like a leading line. I like the way that looks. The next thing we need to do is we need to figure out how to get it all in focus. And if anyone has followed the channel, you should know by now that is to increase my f-stop. So I'm currently at 2.8. I'm going to increase it to 11. Okay, I'm going to increase my shutter speed to 1/200th. Now you know that we're going to need extra light for that. So I'm going to get my trim macro flash. Right, so now that I've increased my f-stop to f11, I've put the trim macro flash on. I'm now at 1/200th of a second. Again, that first shot was just for framing to make sure that we had the magnification correct. Okay, so now we are looking at getting a good shot of this grass seed head. So what we have there is a very nice in focus piece of grass head. I think it's a seed head anyway. The background is completely black, and that's because of the light is falling off before it hits this background. Now, I don't want to push this little guy further towards the background because the background will start coming into focus. So, what can we do to get around this? Because we want a nice blue background. The easiest way to get around this is to introduce more light into the background. And the way we're going to do that is by using another flash. So I have a manual flash here, it's from Yongno. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up to a slave mode. And I'm going to point it towards the background. Just like that. So hopefully it should detect the light from this flash on its sensor and trigger the background flash. Let's give it a go. So there, we're starting to get something now. Okay, so you can see there we're getting a nice blue background, but it's not all lit. So we're going to lift the head up a little bit more. I'm also going to push it back and increase the power by 1 stop. And we'll take another shot and see what we got. Yeah, starting to get there now. The head down a little bit. I like the exposure on the background, and I'm going to bring up my exposure compensation back to normal. See if we like it. And you can hear the little beep. That's my focus assist telling me that one of the focusing points is bang on. I like to use that. Some people don't use it, but I just like to use it. There's a nice guide. Nice beautiful background. We have the seed head in focus. All we need now is our subject. Let's get one of our male jumping spiders out of his enclosure and we'll put him onto here and we'll photograph him. Okay, so I've gotten rid of my chair. That's in the background. I've put a towel on the floor because these little guys, they are fast, they jump, and if he jumps off here, I don't want him landing on the floor and getting hurt, so I've got that there. If he jumps off the grass onto the desk, he'll be perfectly okay, so he's okay there. You only have to put a big towel down on the desk if you've got a large female because they're a lot bigger and they can hurt themselves. But these baby ones, they'll be fine. Let's get one out and let's see if he wants to play with us. So I have him in this container, and this is why we're rehousing them, because the containers are too small for them at the moment, and he's running around like a riot, so he's going to be really fast. So what I'm going to tell you is I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do in advance, because I'm not going to be able to stop to tell you. I'm going to put the spider onto the grass, and I'm going to wait until he comes around this way and up and to photograph. I'm going to carry on photographing even if he's not in position, because you might get something that you like. But that's what I'm intending to do. He's on the grass. I need to break his bungee cord. That's why I called my first one bungee, because they have little bungee cords. And now, fast and furious, we are going to photograph this little chappie. So I'm just going to fire off some shots, even though he's not in position yet. My flash head's not quite where I want it. I'm going to alter it. Would have liked him on the end. I really don't think he wants to go to the end. So that little guy's had enough. He's going to go into the big jars now. But fortunately, it's not over for us, because we have 3 more spiders that we can use on this shoot. Most of the time they want to come on to you. I don't know why. Okay, he's on there now. Okay, and we shall carry on. I'm going to apply a test shot just to make sure that my slave is still working. And it is indeed. It does need to be positioned slightly over. And in fact, I just took a picture of my hand so I know when there's the break for the different spider, okay? I think we just got it. I think we just got the shot we wanted. Yeah, there we go. Right, that's the one I was going for. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 31mm on here. I'm going to get in just a little bit closer. Okay. Fire off a test shot and see what we got. Unfortunately, I'm hitting it with my fingers. I'm going to twist them so that the grass comes in between the two lights. Come on, little fella. Let's increase the power on the background light by another stop. See what we can get now. Now you wouldn't be able to do this if you didn't have Jason Cannon's custom diffuser set, because these would spin back round. Highly recommend them. Now one other problem you will run into with photographing jumping spiders is the longer the photo shoot goes on, the more webbing you get on your scene, because they're constantly putting down webbing. No, he doesn't want to play, he's just constantly on. Where's he gone now? Come here. Come on. Have you ever known spiders that just literally come to you? No, I haven't. Okay, so I'm going to offer him his home. See if he wants to go in it, and he's straight in. You see that? You just offer it to them and they jump straight in. Okay, so he's back in his little home. These are now going to go into the big tubs, and they're going to have an absolute field day. But that will be for another video. So that's our baby regal jumping spiders photograph. You'll have to excuse the sweat, but it is very hard work, especially in the summertime. Now, if you're going to follow along with this with your pet spider, then make sure that you know where you're getting your props from. So, such as these. These are out in my garden, and I know they haven't been sprayed with any kind of pesticides. So if you're unsure whether they have or not been sprayed, then don't use it. But yeah, make sure that whatever you're using is clean and doesn't have pesticides on, otherwise your spider might start suffering from it. But that's it for this video. On the next video, I'm going to take a look at these images to see what we've got. Hopefully we've got a couple that we like. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it and you made it to the end, then please think about subscribing and clicking the bell icon to get notified of when new videos go live. My name is Stuart Wood. I want to thank you for watching this video, and I will see you on the next video for the editing process of our spider images.